What's up everyone, Cake here, and today I'm going to be ranking a particular selection of anime from Toonami's first decade of existence. For those who don't know, Toonami is a programming block on Cartoon Network, one that is responsible for getting many people into anime. For this list, I only selected anime I actually saw during my childhood. Considering I haven't watched all of the anime on the block for the first decade, I excluded those particular shows, because I didn't think it'd be fair to judge them alongside programs I've actually seen. Originally, this was going to be a tier list video, but I thought it'd be more entertaining to my audience if I actually put a video together for this list. Also, keep in mind that being near the bottom of this list doesn't mean a show is bad, I just didn't personally find it as good as other ones. I'm not going to get into too much detail for each show, for brevity's sake. Without further ado, number 24, Hamtaro, an anime all about hamsters. It was somewhat entertaining, but not really an anime I feel the need to revisit nowadays. Nor was it really the type of show I was turning on Toonami for. Number 23, Duel Masters, a card game anime with a mix of 2D animation and CGI. When localizing the show for Western audiences, the producers chose to go for a more humorous vibe than the original Japanese anime, and I can appreciate the humor. The second season we got was produced entirely for Western audiences as well. Number 22, Cardcaptor Sakura, an anime by the famous group known as Clamp, about a girl who accidentally releases a set of magical cards known as cloak cards out into the world. She must collect the cards, which are capable of taking on other magical forms. If you are interested in this show, you may want to watch the subbed version because the dub has been heavily criticized for editing the story to bits. Number 21, Rave Master, an anime about a boy named Haru on a quest for the pieces of a sacred stone. Rave Master was an entertaining shonen, but one that didn't finish the story within its 51 episodes. It's worth noting that the manga was created by the same mangaka responsible for Fairy Tail. Number 20. Bo-bobo-bo is a wacky comedic shonen anime about a guy named Bobobo who uses his body hair, most notably his nose hairs, to fight against the evil Hare Hunt troupe. Bo-bobo can be an entertaining watch for some, but it can also be annoying for others, and it's definitely not something that I could binge. For 19 and 18, I chose Zoid's Chaotic Century and Zoid's New Century respectively. Both are anime about pilots of mecha known as Zoids, and while they were mainly produced to sell toys, you could do worse when picking out mecha anime to watch. Number 17, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the second anime in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. This time around, the main character is a student in a school all about the popular trading card game. Number 16, Dragon Ball GT, the third anime in the Dragon Ball series, which follows the adventures of Goku as he is turned back into a child and has to find the Black Star Dragon Balls all across the universe. Some fans hated the show, but I didn't mind it that much. Number 15, Dot Hack Sign, an anime about being trapped in a virtual world. Sound familiar? Before isekai became its own subgenre of anime, we had Dot Hack Sign, and while I do enjoy it for nostalgic purposes, I do have to note that the plot is stretched out and characters go on and on when there really isn't any need to, not even for atmospheric purposes. Number 14, Tenchi Anime. For this spot, I'm lumping the different Tenchi anime Toonami aired into one spot. The shows are harem comedies with elements of science fiction, following the story of Tenchi Masaki. Number 13, Zatch Bell, a shonen anime about humans who partner up with magical beings known as Momoto, who do battle with one another in a fighting tournament to decide the fate of the Momoto world. It had some pretty good action, and was one of Toonami's better anime in this time period. So, at numbers 12 and 11, I'm gonna have what's probably gonna be considered my hottest take of this ranking. I'm placing Gundam Wing at 12 and G Gundam at 11. Both are popular mecha anime that introduced Western audiences to the behemoth that is the Gundam franchise. If you'd have asked me as a kid, I'd say that Gundam Wing is better, but that's changed. Gundam Wing takes itself a little too seriously, but lacks the writing necessary to keep my blood from boiling over. G Gundam, on the other hand, takes the Gundam franchise in a direction that was very unique for the time, and I think that risk paid off. G Gundam is a campy fighting tournament mecha anime that I find more charming than the more serious anime that overshadows it. Number 10, Outlaw Star, a space western about the crew of the ship who search the galaxy for the treasure known as the Galactic Ley Line. Fans of Cowboy Bebop may enjoy this show, as well as sci-fi fans in general. Number 9, The Big O, an anime that combines mecha with noir and has a real sense of atmosphere throughout its 26 episodes. Admittedly, the show does get too convoluted in its second half, but it still manages to be one of my favorite anime from Toonami. The show had low ratings in Japan, which caused its initially planned season to get cut short, but became such a hit overseas that the final 13 episodes were produced for the Western market, although they aired on Adult Swim, Cartoon Network's more mature programming block. The Big O is worth a watch if you're looking for a mecha anime that does things a little differently. I gave the next 3 spots to anime I didn't watch all the way through, which we'll get into in a moment, but I respect what they've done for the medium as a whole, and I would bet a good portion of anime fans watching this are into one of these shows or another. Number 8, Sailor Moon, an anime all about magical girls doing magical girl things. I wasn't the intended demographic for this anime, but from what I can remember, the show does have a good bit of action, and honestly I wouldn't mind watching it in the background while busying myself with other things. Number 7, One Piece, one of the longest running anime ever. One centered around pirates doing what pirates do best, looking for treasure. The sheer amount of episodes are daunting, and that's the only thing that kept me from continuing the series. I do respect it immensely though. As good of an anime as One Piece is, I just do not have the time for it. If there are televisions in the afterlife though, you bet I'm going to binge this show. Number 6, Naruto, another long-running shonen anime originating from the manga magazine Shonen Jump, although this one is about ninjas and not pirates. I did watch the first few arcs and enjoyed what I saw. If I did ever return to this show, I would definitely skip the filler though. If I have the time, I may someday read through the manga. Number 5, Yu-Gi-Oh!, the card game anime that started a franchise. This show follows the adventures of Yugimoto, whose body hosts the spirit of an Egyptian pharaoh after he solves something known as the Millennium Puzzle. If you like card game anime, then this is your best choice for the subgenre. Number 4, Rurouni Kenshin, an anime all about samurai action. One that I've talked about on this channel on 2 occasions by now. The canon material is great, the filler episodes and eventual filler arcs are bad, but stay within the episodes that follow the manga, and you have yourself a top tier 90s shonen samurai anime. For numbers 3 and 2, I've placed Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z respectively, the long-running anime adventures of Goku that changed shonen anime forever. From his adventures as a young monkey boy to his adult battles that take him to space and back again, this shonen anime has stood the test of time and is still one of the biggest anime franchises that exists. And at the number 1 spot, I've placed the Toonami show that took inspiration from Dragon Ball Z and turned itself into a nearly perfect shonen anime as its major story arcs developed. Yu Yu Hakusho is the story of Yusuke Urameshi, who dies and is resurrected during the first few episodes. He becomes a spirit detective for the underworld, and eventually finds himself fighting alongside demons in the Dark Tournament, the first of 2 major tournament arcs in the show, and the most popular arc in the anime. If shonen anime is what you're most interested in, chances are you'd like what this anime has to offer. The characters are great and play off of each other well, the action was top-notch for the time, and overall the production is better than most you'll find from 90s anime. Definitely an anime I could recommend to almost anyone. So that was my ranking of anime from Toonami's first decade. I hope I was able to interest you in watching something new, or able to hit you with a rush of nostalgia if that's what you came here for. Like and subscribe if you'd like, and have a great evening.